Hey everyone, and welcome to Real Life Real Crime Daily for Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. And I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agavino. Hey guys.
Hey,
so what's up?
Some nice visitors this morning.
Right?
I got the date right. We've already started out the podcast good.
You did get the date right, but I was mentioning the visitors we had in the studio a little while ago.
We did.
Yeah.
Maggie and Pawpaw.
Yep.
We disavow in and out where they came from. They were here, and they're pretty cute.
Very cute.
You have to check it out on social media.
Yeah, we'll post some video of Maggie and Pawpaw in the studio with us. That was lots of fun.
Definitely unique. Yeah, lots of fun. Definitely unique.
It was definitely unique. Woody's so worried about what I'm going to do today. There's so many different things that I might try to pull. I'm actually, it's fine that I'm banned from certain topics, and that's okay.
All right.
I can accept that. You know, the audience got a chance to voice their opinions.
And
they were heard.
Thank you for. All two of them were hurt. And
that hurts.
The other 40,
they went down.
The other 45 blasted.
That hurts because it was many, many, many more than that.
45 people commented, and like 40 of them.
That's an inaccurate. That's an inaccurate count. We can audit if we need to. We can audit that. But you know what, folks, I really appreciate those of you who did support me, whether it's 2 of you or 10 of you, whatever the number is. And we'll be announcing these special 2-hour separate releases of nothing but royals and political news under a different title. We'll tell you about
the name of that show is Woody Won't Be There.
It's Doomed to Failure is the name of the show.
Love y'all. And thanks for listening and tuning in. Let's get down to some crime time. And the first story, most of y'all will remember Ted Kaczynski, who more commonly known as the Unibomber. And guess what? He was found dead in his prison cell Saturday morning, and they think it was a suicide. I don't really know about that, y'all. I'm not going to re-bore you with all the crimes and everything, but he did injure 23 people and in 16 explosions and killed several others, right? He was super smart, Harvard trained guy, but he had this passion for sending deadly homemade bombs by mail, targeting those he believed were causing the destruction of nature through technological advancement. And his campaign of terror, which included the bombing of American Airlines flight with an altitude trigger device, changed how Americans sent packages through the mails and boarded airplanes. He had been housed in a Supermax shop for years and just got moved to a medical facility, and he is now dead, right? Hell or jail. Bye-bye, Ted, Unibomber who terrorized us during the 90s and before. Any thoughts on it, fellas?
I was actually surprised that he was moved from ADX Florence.
Shit, he's pretty old.
Yeah, he was 80, right? 81.
Yeah. And then, that's it. I'm sure that cell was needed for somebody.
Maybe it was like hospice.
Well, why would you kill yourself after all that time?
That's the question. I mean,
interesting.
You'd have thought he'd have done it 20 years ago when he got caught. But, good riddance. I don't light a match for him.
Well, and amazing that somebody as brilliant as he was would evade capture for so long and then get caught on such a stupid, get tripped up so easily. But
didn't his brother kind of turn him in?
Yeah. A brother and sister-in-law who recognized his writing from the manifesto. But, one of the things, not that you can necessarily respect one serial killer over another or any serial killer, but this guy was very, very firm in his convictions, no matter how messed up his convictions were, and he was highly, highly targeted in what he did in terms of going after people that,
you're affirming your convictions about the rules and all that other stupid shit. But
Bullshit.
you're not sending out bombs to me, are you?
I'm not.
I hope
I'm
you're
not. I'm not.
Although
I'm not justifying.
today.
I'm not justifying anything he did. Yeah. I'm just giving a modicum of respect for the brilliant mind that was at work there, right. And compared to, most of the others in the serial killer vein. I mean, this guy.
I think it's just different ways. A lot of serial killers, the preferential serial killers, are every one of them are highly intelligent. It doesn't mean they're formally educated like Ted was here, but domestic terrorism, he can go fuck himself, hell or jail. He ruined a lot of lives and caused a lot of pain because he wanted personal revenge.
Yeah, so
there you have it. Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Bye-bye, Ted.
Bye-bye.
They didn't say how.
Ted K.
Suicide. I mean, why would you hang yourself
Unibomber.
after all this time?
That's crazy.
I've looked at a bunch of different stories. Nobody seems to have. They are all quick to throw out the suspected suicide, but nobody gives a method.
Yeah, but they'll come out. They're going to do an investigation. We'll update you on the. He either slit his wrist or hung himself. Yeah. So,
all right. The Baker Police Department has arrested a man for allegedly hitting another man in the head, leaving him unconscious and unresponsive, and flattening his tires on Sunday.
You guys, Baker, Louisiana,
June 11th,
right up the road.
Yep. Clarence Yarborough, a.k.a. Messy C.
Messy C must be a rap
37.
He's the dirtiest kid in his class.
He's a rap star or a porn star, one.
37 is charged with domestic abuse battery and aggravated second-degree battery and was booked into the EBR Parish Prison. According to police, officers were dispatched to an apartment in Baker, Louisiana, in reference to an unresponsive male that stemmed from a fight. Police added Yarborough was seen outside in the road, flagged him down for assistance, and stated, "Hey, there's an unresponsive male up inside the apartment." Yeah. When officers entered the home, they observed droplets of blood and clay scattered across the floor that indicated a fight took place. Police also said they saw the victim lying down in a pool of blood around the head area. That would also indicate a fight, I would think. Officials said they made several attempts to get a response from the victim by physically shaking him and using loud verbal commands, but he was still unresponsive. Police then added that they attempted to get a natural response by flashing a flashlight into the eyes of the victim. And that's common, Woody?
Yeah.
So the victim's eyes twitched, and officers were able to call emergency responders and speed up the response because the extent of the injuries were unknown at the time. When the responders arrived, they were able to administer aid and get the victim to sit up. When he sat up, there was a gash around 2 or 3 inches long and 1 inch or greater in width, continuously bleeding. Officers said they retrieved a knife they believed had been used to flatten the victim's tires and a vase that Yarborough used to hit him. Yarborough told officers that the victim was attempting to leave the home, placing his clothes and other items in a vehicle that the two shared when they got in an argument. Yarborough then said he proceeded to flatten all 4 of the tires. That's going. You ain't leaving now. Right? The accused justification for flattening the tires was that the victim was too drunk to drive and shouldn't have been on the roadway. So he stated that the victim punched him in the face with a closed fist before the fight began. Both men were taken to the hospital, and police noted that Yarborough had been previously arrested on battery of a dating partner and child endangerment charges. Now, what I haven't told you yet is that Yarborough is actually a major social media influencer out of Baker, Louisiana. And through our Real Life, Real Crime Daily investigation team, we found that Yarborough has 129,000 Instagram followers.
Wow. Isn't that like 129 times the size of Baker, Louisiana?
Yeah, right.
Minimum.
Probably.
So for all those folks,
he's spread his wings outside.
That Instagram may be down for a little bit.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. The dude's in trouble. Second-degree aggravated battery is the same thing as attempted murder in the state of Louisiana. There's no attempted murder. And you get you get second-degree battery if you lose consciousness or have to seek medical attention or suffer extreme disfigurement. But the second degree ag part is there was some type, like you said, the base or some type of weapon used. I mean, that's serious shit.
Yeah. And look, when police arrived, they're like freaking shaking him and stuff. He ain't coming to. He was more than just knocked out.
He won't be on Instagram anymore.
He's got
for a while.
He had a really interesting bun that he did with his dreads, where it comes to the front. It kind of looks like
a blonde part.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's got like a rose to the side of his head.
Very interesting.
He'll have plenty of time to
look for
work
those
on
pictures.
that.
And they're going to love that hairdo at Bloody Angola.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all go listen to that podcast.
Very
Yes,
popular.
They will. We're going to go to Woody's favorite town,
Which one?
Chicago.
Oh, I like Chi-Town. I used to, anyway.
A worker at a Chicago company that distributes human body parts. They do this for medical research. Says that someone left 3 severed heads next to his desk in a grotesque act of retaliation after he complained about the condition of some donor bodies. Dale Wheatley is the transportation coordinator for Anatomical Gift Association of Illinois. He filed a police report after discovering the 3 disembodied heads sitting on a blue plastic storage tub by his desk. At first, I was confused. My boss walked by, and I asked him why the heads were at my desk. He said they need to get back with their bodies so we can send them to cremation. That makes sense, I guess. Wheatley said in his 5 years on the job, body parts had never been placed by his desk, and normally they're kept in designated storage areas before he retrieved them to deliver to medical schools for students to dissect and study. They are later collected, cremated, and the ashes are returned to families. I asked him why they were at my desk, Wheatley said, and he said, I don't know, Dale. There's a lot of strange things going on. Wheatley, who's 37, also said he found rolled up bunches of smoldering sage throughout the office, which he interpreted as harassment. Some cultures believe burning sage can help reduce negativity.
Yeah, cleanse them.
It seems like maybe some people in this office didn't like Dale a whole lot. You tracking with me on that? So, you want to say something?
I was going to say this has nothing to do with any legit organization like LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, et cetera. This is a wild-ass story from Chi-Town.
I think those are excellent points, and let's come back to that. I think they were trying to say that it's warding off evil spirits, we said. And I was the evil spirit. The shocking experience with the heads followed a complaint by Wheatley last month that donated bodies were not being properly embalmed or stored, and as a result were subject to rotting and mold.
Oh, my God.
Rats had chewed through storage bags and bitten cadavers' feet. According to his attorney, David Fish, and other degradation and decomposition made the bodies unusable and shortened the length of time they can be studied. The body goes to waste if it's not properly cared for. One medical school lab manager contacted the Anatomical Association to report that some of the donors they received were in such poor condition they could not be used at all. The lab manager noted a bug infestation, decomposing tissue on the hands and feet.
Crazy.
William O'Connor is the executive vice president of the nonprofit company. He told the Chicago Tribune he denied that the donor bodies were mistreated and said handling of body parts is in Wheatley's job description. Wheatley also lodged complaints with the Cook County Medical Examiner, and the Illinois Department of Public Health wants to see better care taken of these bodies. There is a reason I selected this story this morning, and that is because we have a new sponsor who's going to be coming on board later this month, actually even later this week, which is a company called Parish Forensics.
Yes, and they're doing great stuff.
They're doing amazing stuff from Broussard. I say that right? Broussard, Louisiana, which is
right outside of Lafayette.
Right outside of Lafayette. And they have this incredible facility up there. Yeah. I can't believe, I want to really see it in person. I've taken the sort of tour that you can take online, but it's huge. And the majority of the parishes in the state of Louisiana, other than Orleans Parish and I think possibly Baton Rouge.
Orleans Parish even uses Jefferson Parish, JP. That's the facility there for autopsies and stuff like that.
Okay, but most of the other parishes in the state send
Right.
bodies for autopsy up to his name is Roy Provost, who's the owner, and it's his vision that they've built out up there. It's a combination of state of the art autopsy, cremation. They have a pet crematorium and funeral services all in one there, and people come from all around the state and outside of the state to use these facilities. And
I can assure you, nothing like that is going on there. These people are good people, and where they're at in Broussard, there's so many small communities, or even mid-sized cities, all of them, all the way down to Erath and further west towards Lake Charles and everything else. And so they are providing excellent care and excellent service for your loved ones, basically, whether it's a pet or
we'll talk more about them in days to come. But one of the things I thought was really interesting from here is that they oftentimes, the funeral home, wherever it's located, will ask them, since they're doing the autopsy, to also do the embalming so that the body is not invaded twice.
Right.
And not that anything necessarily resembling any of the crap we see in the Chicago story could happen at those funeral homes, but this just keeps the body in as pristine condition as it can possibly be in. So we'll talk more about parish forensics in the days ahead.
Parish forensics, shout out. We can't wait to
shout out to Roy.
Tell everybody about you and Mr. Roy. We love what y'all are doing. All right, so I'm going to take you to South Carolina. Maggie and Paw Paw, not alligator related. But there was I hate this word, routine traffic stop, because there is no such thing as a routine traffic stop. Those are the ones where you get complacent, you get killed. But let's just say a traffic stop proved to be a lucky break for South Carolina woman who was allegedly kidnapped and forced to drive at gunpoint by a man wanted for murder. The North Myrtle Beach Police Department said in a statement this week that Officer Kayla Wallace pulled over the woman early in the morning on May 28th when she blew through a red light. She noticed the driver appeared distressed. Wallace spoke with both the driver and the man in the passenger seat. While the male passenger wasn't looking at the driver, the female silently mouthed, "Help me," repeatedly, police said. Then Wallace put the passenger in the backseat of her squad car in order to separate the two. She then went back to the suspect vehicle and spoke to the female driver, who frantically advised that the passenger had just shot someone. Moments later, a bolo, or be on the lookout for y'all, was sent over the radio from dispatch regarding a vehicle that was just involved in a shooting in the county. Wallace called for the county police to arrive at the traffic stop and arrested the passenger, Collins Xavier Manning Bates. In Horry County records show the 29-year-old is being held on 5 charges, including attempted murder, kidnapping, unlawful possession of a weapon, illegal possession of firearms and ammunition, and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. Bates shot someone and then threatened the woman who was nearby before forcing her to drive him from the scene. So, anyway, that's pretty crazy, y'all.
It's amazing. They don't really say, right, that he didn't try and pull a gun on the cop,
right.
Before agreeing. He had to know once they were separated, he was done.
Right. So, yeah. And so Officer Wallace didn't know anything about the shooting prior to her making the stop. And she was just being a proactive cop and simply observed a traffic violation 30 minutes before shift ended. A whole lot of cops would have been looking the other way. So,
and then thank God that she was astute enough to be able to sense, that this woman was in some sort of danger, and you being you've worked traffic division. So is that something you kind of typically pay attention to, the mannerisms of people?
Yeah, I probably stopped more people than all the other cops combined, but I didn't like to write tickets, but I was hunting. I'd bad guys. I'd run them for warrants or 17S, what they're called, or just check their pupils or see if their stories added up. to see if they were doing anything illegal.
Yeah.
But if you were in a situation like that, Woody, and the woman's mouthing help me to you,
Yeah.
you don't yet know about this other shooting,
Right.
how would you have handled that?
I would have done exactly what she did, separate them, but I would have never turned my back on that guy. Probably at that time, I would have got my hands on him to pat for officer safety, but my main concern would have been to get her secure and then address the situation. Because you never know where it's going to go from that. She could have been crazy, right? But she wasn't.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Very good story. Yeah. Shout out to that officer. You guys have Indiana Jones fans?
Loved it. Every one of them. Hey, Harrison Ford's one of my fraternity brothers, Sigma Nu.
What?
Yep.
What about you, Mike? Indiana Jones guy?
The first one, yeah. Maybe the first couple. There's a new one, I guess.
Shit, there's a
brand new one.
The original 3.
He's like 106 years old.
He's
still running around with his whip and his hat. I don't know.
He's killing
Solo
it,
too.
He had some great roles in his heyday. I mean, he was the top actor in Hollywood for a period of time. Yeah. So,
I can tell you that Gregory Rodveld is also an Indiana Jones fan, and so much so that he booby trapped the FBI.
What?
How about that? So 71-year-old Gregory Rodvelt was found guilty of assaulting a federal officer and discharging a firearm in relation to a crime of violence last week by a federal grand jury. Rodvelt injured an FBI agent in 2018 via a wheelchair rigged to fire ammunition at anyone who attempted to move it.
My God.
Yes. The agent was shot in the leg and taken to a local hospital for medical attention. Police officers had gone to the home of the then 66-year-old Gregory Rodvelt in the small town of Williams at the request of a real estate lawyer who was selling the property. While walking the 15-acre property, officers slipped past a minivan outfitted with spring-loaded jaws of animal snares and walked around a circular hot tub turned on its side that was rigged to roll over on any trespasser
who triggered an alert.
Who triggered the tripwire. Yeah. So it was described as being much like a scene from the movie Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, in which actor Harrison Ford is forced to outrun a giant stone boulder
after he's got the
that he
golden
inadvertently
head.
triggered. Yeah, so an FBI special agent and 3 state police bomb techs then approached the manufactured house, blasting open the fortified front door, but never making it past an empty wheelchair that was outfitted to stop anyone who moved it. The wheelchair was outfitted with fishing line, shotgun ammunition, and other items that, when pushed, triggered an explosion. An X-ray revealed that a 410 gauge shotgun pellet hit the agent's leg.
This guy built all of this himself?
If he'd have spent
He was a prepper.
all that,
No doubt about it. He was Ted Kaczynski's buddy.
Yeah. If he'd have spent all that energy and mental capacity doing something good.
I'm telling you, because he had it rigged up good now.
That's crazy.
So, well, he's going to be spending the rest of his life in jail, it looks like.
I think kids avoided that house during Halloween. You think?
Probably so.
Probably one doorbell I wasn't going to ring.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are believers, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're not alone. You know,
I totally believe it. We're not alone.
Jim,
I'm a believer in God.
that wasn't the question.
He's talking about aliens, I think.
Oh, he's talking about aliens? That's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not.
How can you look at the night sky and see all the stars and everything else and think that we're alone?
Because we have
that
proof.
guy
We have
that
proof.
turned himself into an alien. Remember him with the teeth? and
Yes,
the
I do know.
tattoos?
Honorable mention to the All Woody team for that guy. But we, and you know what? If I were coming to Earth and I was going to land somewhere on Earth, might as well go to Vegas. Here's what happened, and here's how we know there is life on other planets. Midnight calls about large aliens and UFO sightings might normally be written off by police as pranks or drunks, but that's not what happened in Las Vegas recently. And we've got the body camera footage and the 911 calls to prove it that have now been released by the Las Vegas police. And they show why officers who responded to this particular call were very nervous. It was late the night of April 30th when a Las Vegas family reported something had crashed in their backyard and there were, quote, big creatures on board.
Yeah.
Quote, there's like an 8-foot person beside it and another one is inside it and it has big eyes and it's looking at us and it's still there, one family member told the 911 dispatcher. Quote, I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified. So there's 2 people, there's 2 subjects in your backyard, the dispatcher asked. Correct. And they're very large. They're like 8, 9, maybe 10 feet. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes, they have big eyes. Like, I can't explain it. And really big mouths, the caller replied. They're shiny eyes and they're not human. They're 100% not human. Around the same time, a Las Vegas Police Department officer's body camera recorded a bright light streaking across the Las Vegas sky. Several people across Eastern California, Nevada, and Utah all reported seeing the flash, according to the American Meteor Society. 2 officers were sent to the family's house. I'm so nervous right now, one is heard saying through the body camera. I have butterflies, bro. I saw that shooting star, and now these people say there are aliens in their backyard, unquote. The other officer, what did you see? It was a big creature. A big creature? Yeah, more than 10 feet tall. I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too. So that's why we're here. That's why I'm curious. I don't believe in it, but what I saw right now, I have to believe in it. I do believe in it. The officer, again, you guys seem like legit scared, so I don't blame you. Hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, right? Deal with it yourself, the officer joked as they were leaving. George Knapp, a renowned journalist who has broken some of the biggest UFO-related stories, told Fox News that he's spoken to the family over the last 4 weeks and, quote, didn't detect a hint of a hoax. A tall, skinny alien creature with greenish color that was about 8 to 10 feet tall was reportedly hiding behind a forklift in this Las Vegas family's backyard after a potential UFO crashed overnight. This is the night of April 30, May 1st. At least 21 people across California, Arizona, Nevada, and Utah reported seeing the glowing green light, according to AMS, the American Meteor Society. A witness who was seen in the responding officer's body cam told his story on YouTube under the username Alien Society 51, and he shared pieces of footage that he took and footage that came from a neighbor's doorbell camera that captured the loud bang and aftershock and a picture of, quote, a perfect circle in his backyard purportedly left by the aircraft.
I would have said meth was involved. It was too much video footage and stuff. Is there a punchline to this? And that's for real?
The punchline is that these people in Las Vegas are convinced of this. They're not wackos. They weren't on drugs. There is this strange hole in the backyard. So if it's a prank, they worked on it a really long time. It's an elaborate one. There's the flash in the sky seen by people across 4 states. There's the hole in the yard.
So I won't even go into the stories because I've seen some things, and I do believe
they've been to Louisiana.
Yeah, and I do believe, but I believe, and I don't normally do the religion stuff on the show yet for obvious reasons. But I believe there was one God that rules everything and made everything. Amen. But I absolutely believe that we are not alone. So, period.
There you have it, folks. I might actually be able to report on UFO stories. More on that later.
Yeah, I have no problem. That's kind of a crime because the cops had to get involved and everything else. And I think everybody, I can't say everybody has a story.
You remember the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Yes, I do.
The movie freaked me out
too.
Woo!
Yeah. A suspected gunman was found dead inside a Florida home after a woman who was shot 11 times during a domestic argument escaped to a neighbor's house. The shooting happened around 1 a.m. at a home on North Street. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office said deputies responded after the neighbor called 911. It's amazing. You think about someone who's been shot that many times and is still able to walk out of her house. It must have been a 22, right. 11 times. Walk across the street to a neighbor and tell them what happened. That's what the chief deputy said. Chief Deputy Halley said the victim, who is not being publicly identified, was shot twice in the head and multiple times in the torso and thigh area. She was rushed to a hospital and is suspected to survive. Deputies learned suspected gunman, identified as Wayne Lovell-Dew, was still inside the home, and there may be rifles and pistols in the house. Negotiators spent about 7 hours trying to get him to surrender and leave the home. When he didn't surrender, authorities used specialized equipment and tactics, basically known as SWAT or now SRT, Special Response Team, to enter the home and found Dew with what appeared to be self-inflicted gunshot wound. Dew was pronounced dead at the scene. Well, good for him. Bye-bye.
11 times.
They had a vehicle I've never seen. We got to get that picture up, like a urban assault vehicle. We
had those too. But when we started out, we had an old van with dark blacked out windows, and we started getting the military equipment, excess stuff. And now you wouldn't believe they actually had custom made SWAT vehicles made by Ferrer's.
Fire apparatus.
It might have been one of
fire
those
trucks and rigged out so everything's from standing bars when you're getting ready to bail out and everything, and medical equipment to storage for all the different stuff that you may need, cameras or whatever you may need. But I'm not going to give away all the secrets.
11,
it's fine.
11 holes in your body.
That's a lot.
Spring a leak, huh?
It's got to be a 22 or they would have bled out. But still, 22 calibers killed more people than all the other calibers combined.
Because it doesn't exit the body, right?
Have you seen people shot more times than that and survive? Or is that?
No, I never seen anybody shot that many times and survive. No, not even close.
And twice in the head too. So it wasn't like they were all.
That's crazy.
Y'all Taylor Swift fans by any chance?
Negative.
Really.
Let me tell you, I remember, I guess, Taylor Swift back in the day, and then she's doing a big concert tour now. And the other day, she's got up there with Britney Spears, man.
My
Maybe
friend,
she bought an island. She bought an island.
Really?
For like
my friends just went to
$20 million.
to that
I
concert.
think Woody
in Dallas.
bought it, practically an island.
Yeah, I had goes.
He bought Gilligan's Island. She bought a big one.
Gilligan.
He bought the set.
She
of
bought the
Gilligan's
one
Island.
from that Chomo that.
Oh,
What's his name? Yeah, his own nation.
yeah.
Oh,
dignified
Epstein?
Epstein.
She bought Epstein Island? She would have paid a lot for Epstein Island.
Well, let me tell you, a stalker obsessed with Taylor Swift has been arrested on charges of stalking the mega popular singer and threatening her management. Mitchell Tabell, 36, is accused of showing up at Swift's Nashville residence after sending photos of weapons to her management team, threatening to destroy them. Tabell is accused of contacting and leaving messages for Swift's father, telling him that he is the singer's soulmate and the only person that can protect her. Tabell was arrested on June 2nd on multiple federal charges. The suspect reportedly drove from his home in Long Beach, California, over there by Mike. That's all Mike's old stomping ground, and Nashville at that, to Swift's apartment building on May 5th, where he gained entrance through an unlocked door. I went to Swift's apartment complex, and anybody, in my opinion, that thinks it is illegal in any way to go in someone's apartment to see if they want to meet should be killed.
Yeah, that's not really
Okay.
a good way to.
They should die of a heart attack on the spot, Tabell reportedly said on Instagram after going to the residence. Security at Swift's Nashville show the next day also spotted Tabell, who managed to circumvent his ban from the concert by buying tickets secondhand. Swift's management company obtained a restraining order on May 11th. Following his failed attempts to gain access to Swift, Tabell reportedly posted a series of threats on social media, at one point claiming that his dying wish is that anyone who had anything to do with them not meeting should be executed. This guy was nuts. Tabell is currently in prison and facing charges of stalking, intimidation, invasion of privacy, and harassment regarding his attempts to communicate with the pop star and her staff. Absolutely crazy, some bitch right there. And that's something I know Woody probably deals with often with all his
I'm done with this. For
rabid
sure.
fans.
Not anybody breaking my house because then they'll spring leak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got an arsenal
we deal
problem.
with some crazy shit. There's no doubt about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
where
it's-
the heck is she living where somehow a door is left unlocked?
She lives in Nashville.
In an apartment building in Nashville. So she's got to be in some real high-end condo building with a penthouse or
You would think
whatever.
it would have security. Taylor Swift lives there.
Yeah, that's insane that he was able to do that. And they already had him on a list, a watch list, which I didn't realize they even had these things for these stalkers that I guess they deem crazy. And this guy would definitely qualify. So
Crazy.
I hope he
I
gets
couldn't
his
even tell you one
shit
song
together.
that she sings.
If someone was who would it be that would have you on their stalkers list, Jim?
Oh God, my wife for sure.
He's not. I thought he was on Megan Fox's stalkers list. No, that was Woody.
Megan Fox. Yeah,
I have
I'm not really.
seen her movie, Transformer. I'm not sure
Yeah.
she's been in others, but
She's been in a few. She's a little bit of a wacko. Utah, lots of
I lived in Salt Lake City.
really funky,
Did you?
crazy stuff going on in Utah. This is a story that's been in the news, a big story. This guy that killed all 5 of his children and his wife. There's new information coming out about what preceded all this, what happened. New recordings show the Utah father who killed his 5 children, his wife, and his mother-in-law before turning the gun on himself in January, reportedly routinely used manipulative behavior at home, and it became more and more tense for his family to be around him. The Deseret News published a detailed review of roughly 72 minutes worth of home videos taken by Michael Haight, who shot and killed his family 2 weeks after his wife, Tasha, filed for divorce. The night before the killings, Haight, who was 42, was laughing with his kids and told the children, 4-year-old Gavin, 7-year-old twins, Sienna and Amon, and 12-year-old Breeley and 17-year-old Macy, he would take them sledding the next day. But over the course of months, tensions between the Allstate insurance agent and his wife were becoming increasingly worrisome. Quote, "I would love for you to move out on your own," Tasha, 40, tells her husband in one video, "but you're not moving out. And now you're making me go down the legal route." Tasha tells Michael in multiple clips that both she and the kids are uneasy when he's around the house. Quote, "Our kids have mentioned, especially the older 2, that when you're here, it's tense. We're not able to relax. We're still walking around on eggshells," Tasha said to her husband. Michael's behavior reportedly appeared disconnected in some of the clips. Despite being served divorce papers at his office 2 weeks prior to the shooting, Michael seems oblivious that his wife wants them to separate. In one clip, he appears to cry as he pleads with his wife for a second chance at their marriage. "I know you have no reason to give me a chance or trust me for anything. I know. I'm telling you, I'm in a corner," he says. "I'm pleading. I'm trying to take care of my family, and I know I hurt you. I hurt your feelings, and I feel horrible. I'll go to 20 counselors if I have to go to 20 counselors. I don't care. I want my family. I want that more than anything." But later he says, quote, "I have no time for self-care," and accuses Tasha of trying to take advantage of him by making him pay child support. Quote, "It's almost like we're doing this now so your rights are protected, or you can try to get as much as you can out of child support," he claims. Tasha exclaims, "I'm doing this because I cannot continue to tolerate the way you are treating me." The news reported that Michael made several internet searches about whether a neighbor could hear if a gunshot went off inside his garage and whether a single gunshot is recognizable or easily mistaken. Police reported that alleged Michael had abused his children, once choking his oldest, Macy. Many of the videos that were recorded of these conversations appear to also have been taken secretly by Tasha. In one recording, Tasha recalls a time when Michael wouldn't allow her to drive a separate car to a Thanksgiving gathering, despite her not feeling safe with him at the time. She explains to him why the behavior concerned her. "Those are deal breakers for me," she says. You have shown me that I am not safe with you, that you choose my safety or that you choose what you want to do over my safety or my concerns. You show that you don't even care. It's really sad to listen to this because it's obvious they needed to get away from him.
Voices from the grave, actually, and then he kills them all. Right?
And the mother-in-law too. 5 kids, the wife, and
family
the mother-in-law
annihilator.
over a divorce. Horrible.
Family annihilator. And in the end, I mean, shit, move on, people. Don't do that shit. So, y'all, I told you about in my cop days, one thing you don't want to do is pop or piss off the police, right? Especially, when you've already been fighting and you have them under arrest and you transport them to jail, and 90% of the time they're so effed up and they're screaming and hollering and "I'll kick your ass" and da-da-da. Well, swim, someone knows than me, usually had a deer run out in front of them, and you get going up to about 100 miles an hour and slam on the brakes, and they got that cage in the back, and bam, right? And they'd hit their face and head and maybe get knocked out, but they would shut up.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
But let me tell you what happened in New Haven, Connecticut. A $45 million settlement has been reached for a treatment of a man who became paralyzed in a police van in New Haven, Connecticut in 2022. Richard Randy Cox injured his neck on June 19, 2022 when the police van transported Cox to the prison braked hard to avoid a collision with another vehicle that had pulled out from a side street. As there were no seat belts and Cox couldn't brace himself because his hands were cuffed, he flew headfirst into the metal divider between the driver's section and the prisoner's area. Video footage showed Cox begging for help. So we didn't have cameras in the car back then. Video footage showed Cox begging for help, and the officers accusing him of being drunk and not believing that he was injured. Police put him in a wheelchair and brought him to the cell. There, they waited for an ambulance. 2 of them were fired for violating officer conduct rules on upholding the law, and 2 officers and 3 others also face criminal charges. So, of course, I told you every time something like this happens, they're going to change the training. They're going to make new policies, procedures. They did that there. $30 million of the total settlement will be covered by the New Haven's insurance, and the remainder will be paid by the city. And it's the largest settlement in a police misconduct case in our nation's history.
Wow.
You know what? My dad was a trial lawyer for 48 years, and he always said a live client is worth more money than a dead client because they have to, a large portion of this naturally. I mean, the guy's paralyzed, and then that's not funny to anybody, but he's going to have care for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So the vehicle itself didn't have seatbelts, right?
Yeah, it's probably, they said it was a van, one of those prisoners' vans. They usually have benches on the inside.
So,
not like this kind of bench, like down the sides, and they'll have them like cuffed to a bar or something like that. But if you hit it, you could slide and hit it.
And there was a car accident. There was another car involved. It wasn't
No. That he swerved to miss a car, like swim used to swerve to miss deer and everything else. You better believe $45 million lawsuit, that car would have been mentioned more in it. I don't think there's
Okay, so you're not buying.
I'm
that,
not buying the fact that there was a car. I'm buying the fact that he was drunk and cursing them out there. Been there.
Okay, so I was wondering, was it their behavior after they brought him to jail, or was it what they did?
It was on the way
they were transporting.
While they were transporting. The other thing I would do, especially on females, when they start all the sexual stuff, is I would key up my microphone, and then when you do that, it goes out to everybody that's listening, and they can't talk. Like they're like, "I'll brains up, you let me go, da da da," and I just key it up and said, "What'd you say?" And they, so it's being recorded also. So I was protecting myself, but the life and times. $45 million. I hate that dude got paralyzed, and then they didn't believe him. They're like,
look,
you're faking. Get up.
Let me tell you, I got some relatives of Mike we're about to tell you about. They're actually not relatives; they're best buds. Probably.
Okay, so is it Rent-A-Hit Man, Rolls, or some Italians?
Italians.
God, you've simplified my life.
Right.
A robbery crew that police and the FBI have linked to the Lucchese and Gambino crime families
My piece. I know
were arrested Tuesday morning in connection with a $2 million jewel heist in Manhattan.
They're still doing it. Got to get paid.
One alleged ringleader, Lucchese crime family associate Frank Skip DiPietro, how you like that pronunciation, 65, is accused of helping scheme one robbery plan. NYPD officials said crew members dressed as construction workers to rob a Madison Avenue jewelry store in broad daylight. Bayco Jewels at Madison Avenue near East 61 Street was the target. Now, the store actually serves celebrities like Rihanna and Beyonce.
That's where Mike gets his
and
watches from.
And it does say Ago as well.
Right?
Yeah.
The shop requires a credit check even before getting an appointment to go to the Penthouse showroom.
Yep.
The FBI said DiPietro and 3 other men held a clerk at gunpoint as he attempted to open and set up the storefront window display. DiPietro allegedly yelled, "Give it to me," as another associate, Michael Selleck, 67, allegedly told the worker to turn around and get in the closet. Right. Another...
His name was Selleck?
Selleck. Like Tom Selleck?
Not a made man.
Another heist.
They teach that in Rosetta Stone?
Yeah.
Another
Can't be
heist.
made with a name like that.
Another heist linked to the alleged crew took place in May downtown at a jewelry store along the Elizabeth Street. Vincent Spagnuolo, Vincent Chikiro, and Samuel Sorsay were also among those charged with the federal robbery-related counts. And I'm going to let Mike check my pronunciation here, folks, because he's looking at me.
Mike is the pronunciation.
So we're not going to cut this. We're going to let...
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I do good?
He's going to practice
my little Italian friends
about to come out. Y'all get a great deal, 4% off Real Life, Real Crime with Rosetta Stone. Here it comes. He's looking at it. He's studying intently. I'm doing the golf.
You gonna let me slide on that
go
one?
on those.
Okay.
Actually, the SORCE is I've never seen that name.
I took my best shot. So back to the story. Another heist linked to the alleged crew took place in May. I told you all about that. As he was led away in handcuffs at the 13th precinct, Sorsay joked to
they caught him.
A news camera. That's right. About an early morning raid. Don't show my feet. I got no socks on. That sounds like something Mike would say. NYPD Commissioner Keechant Sewell said the gunpoint holdup showed a callous disregard for life. U.S. Attorney Damon Williams said his office estimates the robberies netted about $2 million worth of jewelry.
Did I get paid too?
Video camera footage from inside the store is not the only evidence they have obtained. Police also said they have images of the men getting dressed in construction gear nearby before heading into the location.
Always on camera.
Major case squad detectives who helped lead the investigation said there are cell phone recordings linking several of the suspects before, during, and after. And DiPietro previously served 19 years in federal prison related to the mob killing of a witness. All 5 suspects appeared in court and were held without bail. The defense attorney for Selleck called the situation a case of mistaken identity. There's no way my client can be on Madison Avenue because he is busy painting the underbelly of the Verrazano Bridge.
The Verrazano Bridge.
That was close.
I think it was that.
Said attorney Gerald McMahon.
Largest suspension bridge in the world.
He makes $55 an hour painting bridges. He don't need to be doing these little heists on Madison Avenue.
Yeah, level $10 million.
That's good. That's a good point.
So
that's a good point.
The mafia's still alive and well.
Well,
And
I don't know about the well part of that. I mean, that is not a very well researched to be caught on film changing into the construction worker
Right.
outfits.
Yeah.
Well,
kind
But
of
they didn't say they were smart.
Here's
They
kinda
said
amateur.
it works. Yeah.
Here's the funny thing about that whole story. Every guy in that is 65 years old or older.
Really?
Yeah.
They're trying to bring it back.
65, 67, 68. So, they're
That's
still
part
running
of,
around.
part of
in
the problem in
jogging
the
suits.
planning.
Yeah.
If I didn't hate these so much, I'd run my own.
By the way, I'm
But I
letting
get
your
paid.
hypocrisy slide. The going into your instant Goomba voice when it's an Italian related crime, and then
Hey, don't
what
get
was
my
I-
socks.
Wait, what did
Ain't
you?
wearing my socks.
When we had when we got into the Lululemon bout last week. What did I call you? What did you say I called you?
Country bumpkin?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
A country.
I say, hey, I'm not a country
You're
bumpkin.
not a country bumpkin, but obviously I'm a Goomba.
I'm an Okie from Muskogee. Not really.
Woody Overton.
I just like the song.
Yeah.
I'm an Okie.
Oh, it's
We
my
don't
it's
smoke
my
marijuana.
it's my turn.
Yes, your turn. Are you giving this one in Italian? Or is that the same?
Can you name a team that's never won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'll give it to you in 1 second because I'm a huge football man. It's got to be Houston.
That's one correct answer. Houston's never won a Super Bowl.
I'm going to say the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
Cleveland Browns. Now, to be fair to the Cleveland Browns, in the days when our recently departed Jim Brown was running on the football field before the leagues came together and there was a Super Bowl, the Browns were the best team in the NFL and won numerous championships before everything came together. But
I'm taking
in
Deshaun Johnson.
In the modern NFL, the Browns have never won.
Well, and the
Deshaun-
fact that they never won with Tim Couch at quarterback is shocking.
Or
Kentucky.
Manziel.
Yeah, he's a dope
Manziel.
head. So
Learning
this
goes
year,
on.
check it out though, because Deshaun Watson is back from suspension, white beater that he is, or whatever the fuck he
No.
did.
It wasn't white beater.
What did he do? He did something.
He's not married. Number one, he was accused of taking advantage of massage therapists and
Okay, so whatever the fuck he did, he's back.
A dick
And
beater.
He came back. See how he's a dick beater. He came back. After, he played the
what
last
is it?
6 games.
How does
or
that make
something.
him a dick beater? What is a dick
Because I
beater?
don't know. You go to
'Cause he was at a
massage parlor,
massage
get your
parlor?
dick beat.
Oh, okay, but if you're at a massage parlor, he's probably not beating his own.
I don't know.
It doesn't
Might be.
matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay. Well,
It
actually,
might be.
I don't think.
be.
I mean, I think that there have been settlements, so I don't think there's an
You're
admission.
making $150 million.
I don't think there's
a
an admission by him that he committed any kind of crime. He served a suspension from the NFL, and so
Right.
I mean, he's
Right. And my point being
Yeah.
is, I'll at least get him as my backup quarterback for my fantasy team this year because he's going to go off.
okay. Well, he's gonna maybe go off, but there's a chance their defense is going to be a little weaker than it has been in previous years. I'm trying to bring us back to crime and why we're talking about the Cleveland Browns. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns because 2 Cleveland Browns defensive players were robbed by 6 masked men
Nice.
at gunpoint in a nightclub on Monday night. The 2 players, whose names were redacted in the police report, had items of jewelry stolen as well as the truck they were driving. Although the players involved weren't formally identified, the Associated Press did some good work here, and they were able to go out on a limb and say that the 2 players were cornerback Greg Newsome II and tackle Perrion Winfrey. Neither of the players were actually harmed in the incident. On Monday night, Newsom appeared to comment on the robbery when he tweeted, quote, "It's a cruel world we live in." According to the police report, the robbery occurred at approximately 3:30 in the morning. What are you guys doing out in a club at 3:30 in the morning? When one of the players was ambushed, nothing good happens. Right. 3:30 in the morning at a club, and a club in Cleveland to boot. I think this all happened in Cleveland. It did.
Good chili there, right?
Good chili. Cincinnati's the chili city.
Oh, is it? I missed it.
Cleveland's the mistake on the lake. The city
love you,
where
Cleveland.
we love you, Seatown.
Shout out to Seatown.
They call it the land, Cleveland. The Cuyahoga River once caught fire, and that really tarnished the image of the city. But I actually like Cleveland a lot.
Cool.
The Rock Hall, the old Jake Stadium's really cool. I forget what they call it now. But anyway, back to Cleveland. 3:30 in the morning is not a good time to be out. The attackers allegedly jumped out of a car and stole items of jewelry belonging to the players before they left the scene. Now, 6 is a lot of guys, but you got to have a lot of balls to go after 2 big NFL players like that. I mean, 6 is a lot of guys. But Cleveland's coach, Kevin Stefanski, confirmed on Tuesday that both players were unharmed, and he praised the Cleveland police for their response in the incident. "I'm glad our guys are okay," he said during a press conference. "I want all of our community to be safe. The Cleveland police have been outstanding. We want everybody to be safe, and we want to get violent people off of our streets." Yes, and coach, good idea to get your players out of the clubs before 3:30 in the morning. This is something we take very seriously, Stefanski said. Yes, hence them being out at 3:30 in the morning. At the same press conference, Browns defensive end, one of the best players in the NFL, Myles Garrett, said he had spoken to the 2 players since the incident. "I'm just glad to see they're all right, just making sure they're in the right headspace. They feel like they're surrounded by family, and letting them know that anything that they need, we're the perfect resource for them, and that we have their backs no matter whatever happens. I'm just glad to see them safe and sound and still walking around." Look, that's great. Somewhere it would have been nice to see somebody say, "Hey, being out at a club at 3:30 in the morning as an NFL player is pretty irresponsible." And these things won't happen.
Wasn't during the season.
You're not there.
Right? I mean, they're young people. They got making it rain and shit.
Mini camp.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for them.
And this was not a good thing for them to be doing, and it almost turned into
the whole mood changes now, folks. It's time to get kinky.
Bring it down. Kinky crimes for Wednesday. And y'all, this is some twisted shit. Now, let me tell you something before I go into this real quick. If I had $1 for every time I've been propositioned in one way or another, male or female, when people I was taking to jail, like, I'll give you a blowjob if you let me go and shit like that, which I never did. But it happens, and it happened. Well, this one just kind of is reverse happening.
Has it happened more with female offers or male offers?
Well, a lot more female. Males usually just try to give you some money and shit. But check this one out.
Let me buy you lunch.
A former police officer was sentenced to 1 year in jail last week after offering to not arrest a woman if, drumroll please, if she satisfied his foot fetish.
Hey now.
Right? Patrick Quinn, a police officer, pulled a woman over in Harris County, Texas, that's around Houston, and found a marijuana grinder in her car. So he's got her for drug paraphernalia, misdemeanor. Quinn offered to let her go if he could smell her feet. As the woman started to take her shoes and socks off, Quinn said he would probably lick her feet, and if she wanted another option, he would let her go if she gave him her underwear.
Hey.
Right? He's got it all combined. The woman started to take off her undergarment, but the officer changed her mind and changed his mind and let her go.
Oh, she was going through with it.
Right?
She didn't want no ticket.
The woman,
Wait. He didn't. Now there's no quid pro quo. Now she can just go.
Right, now you just go.
Okay.
Yeah, he probably got scared.
And
Probably never worked
how do we
before.
how do we know this happened?
Oh, because she filed a complaint and Quinn was charged 2 counts of official oppression. That doesn't mean it happened. I'm hoping this guy's not that kind of idiot, but I can tell you it does happen. I'll tell you, I could tell you a lot of stories like this where the cops were fucking in the wrong. One, and I can't say names, that
Swim.
but this girl, no, not swim.
A buddy of swims. A buddy of swims.
This girl that I swim arrested a whole fucking bunch of times, and I'm not doing lookism, but a face only a mama could love, and just a known long time crackhead, dopehead, and this cop arrested her and decided it would be a good idea to have sex with her on the way to the jail, and he impregnated her. And he's paying child support to this day.
Oh, man.
Anyway, that's Kinky Crimes for Wednesday. Play that music and come.
I got to say, that was pretty kinky.
That's kinky.
That's kinky.
Give
me your pants. The kinkier thing is she's pulling them off, buddy.
She was like, shit, you know.
I don't
For a
know why
marijuana grinder, dude.
Yeah.
A misdemeanor.
Take my underwear. Take my panties.
Ticket.
When the deal was just
Lick my feet.
just a toe licking, I mean,
She was down with it. No, it was a sniff. Then he said, I think I'm gonna lick them. And he said, well, you know what? Take your panties off.
Yeah, he was seeing
and
how
I'll
far
just
he
let
could
you
get.
go. And she was just willing to participate.
Okay.
Until she wasn't.
I mean, if my choice was jail or a cop that wanted to lick something, I'd give him a few choices. I'm going to fucking jail.
Fuck you, I'm going to jail.
I'm going to jail, too.
And then I'm gonna
Jail,
sue
the
your
chances are
ass.
those things are going to get
Lock me
licked
up.
anyway.
Oh, you're right.
So
you go to jail.
They're going to get licked. I'll let a cop. lick them.
And Mike, if you went to jail, you'd have to take your panties off.
Banjos on that front.
Banana hammocks is what I prefer to call my undergarments. Woody, thank you.
Oh, shit.
It continues. I'm assaulted every time I come in the studio.
Mentally and not physically.
You guys notice my new banjo emoji I got?
Yes, I've seen it. I've also seen your mad faces when people are blowing you up with rolls.
Appropriately used. Some people on social media are just inappropriate.
Including you.
Okay, so officer catches dumb suspected bike thief red-handed in Oregon. Police say a would-be thief was captured on video trying to steal a bike. Yeah. Oh, he was trying to steal a bike outside the Oregon police station, and he was captured by police a few seconds later. That would have been good to have a stopwatch on. I wonder what the record is for how quickly
like that Butterbean guy
somebody is
running.
caught after committing the crime. That would have been a quick one. Security footage from inside the police station in Gladstone, Oregon, shows the male suspect attempting to take the only bike in the bike rack outside the building. He was masked and hooded, though. The masked and hooded suspect can be seen attempting to free the bike from a rack outside the police station using a pair of large bolt cutters. Okay.
All right.
So he's got the bolt cutters, he's masked, he's hooded, and
Outside the
there's
police
only one bike in the rack. The rack is directly beside a window stamped with the words Gladstone Police. And it's immediately around the corner is the entrance to the station and in full view of the outdoor security cameras that were right there. So a uniformed police officer walks out of the station and approaches the suspect less than 30 seconds into the video, startling the would-be thief. The officer points a taser at the suspect's chest, prompting him to sit down with hands on his head. It's dumb, Sergeant Carl Bell of the Gladstone Police Department said. I've not actually seen something that blatant because the officers were inside watching the whole thing unfold on a video camera. Adam Valley, age 26, has been charged with theft, criminal mischief, felon in possession of weapons, and being an absolute moron.
Dumb criminals. That was a good one.
Banjo.
Good one. Good one.
Wow. What an idiot.
Takes all kinds of things. Well, though.
Uh-oh.
Can't be it. Oh,
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
I just heard Tiffany.
Tiffany's dirty. She's dirty.
I don't think that's Tiffany. I think
dirty.
that's some American Airlines stewardess or flight attendant, I guess they call them.
All right, it's time for Mile High Crimes. And a doctor has been accused of groping a woman next to him on a flight.
Nice.
Yeah, a Georgia doctor is accused of groping the woman sitting next to him on a flight to Maine where he was planning to propose to his girlfriend. So it gets even better.
He's getting warmed up.
Just getting himself in the,
That's it.
the mood, in the proposal mood.
Dr. Jake Cho, a 48-year-old nephrologist,
What the hell is that?
Nephrologist.
which is what?
A doctor
They
of,
study
of nephs.
nefarious things.
Doctor of nephs.
It's a nephrologist.
I just am not familiar with what that is. So y'all look it up while I tell the story. A nephrologist in Fayetteville, Georgia, is charged with one count of abusive sexual contact aboard an aircraft in connection with the encounter that happened during his flight. Shortly after the flight landed in Portland, Maine, a female passenger told police that Cho, who allegedly leaned into her seat throughout the flight, touched her crotch, noting that the man didn't acknowledge the move by allegedly pretending to be asleep.
Really?
Do we have an answer on what that was?
Yeah, it's a kidney doctor.
A kidney doctor. There you go.
They study,
Shout out to
treated,
all kidney
and manage acute chronic kidney problems and diseases. They also treat. Maybe he was just maybe he was asleep and he was just doing his job.
Well, he could have used that
They
excuse.
treat millions of people each year with kidney injuries or chronic kidney diseases.
Perfect.
Blah, 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 blah.
Perfect. Well, the alleged victim claimed at some point during the flight, Cho had touched her feet with his feet and had some kind of spasm or orgasm
Her
when he
feet
did
are
it.
nowhere near her kidneys. No.
Yeah.
Nowhere near them.
And then he supposedly reached over and touched her genitals outside her pants.
There you go.
Also not near her kidneys.
She yelled, "Excuse me," before the man removed his hand. Once the flight landed, he stood up as soon as it was safe to do so and moved away from the victim. 2 days later, he was back at the Portland airport when he was questioned by local and federal investigators about the incident. During the interrogation, Cho said he was a doctor and had traveled to Maine to propose to his girlfriend. He, of course, denied ever touching or speaking to the woman. He was brought in for voluntary questioning again the next day, and Cho continued to deny the allegations and reportedly said the woman was making the story up. But this time around, he agreed to a polygraph.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so eventually, while maintaining that the actions were not sexual, Cho admitted that he did touch victim one during the flight. Cho told federal investigators in a written statement he intended to only squeeze her upper thigh and never intended to touch her crotch. He added, "Because my glasses were off and it was dark, my hand slipped from her upper thigh to her crotch.
Cindy, I won't have my glasses on tonight.
As soon as I did this, she started yelling loudly. That caused me to remove my hand from her leg and sit straight up. He was so embarrassed he did not know what to do, so he closed his eyes and tried to go back to sleep for the remainder of the flight. He also expressed regret for any harm he may have caused, and according to the bio, Cho, who is board certified in internal medicine, graduated from the University of Florida College of Medicine in 2017 and completed fellowship at Maine Medical Center. But now he is charged with
is
groping.
going to lose his license.
So be careful on them flights, ladies.
You can now take off
So,
that belt
but the big
and
question,
move freely around the cabin.
What's the question?
did she say yes?
Oh my God!
Obviously. Oh, you the fiance? I bet she didn't say yes
okay.
now.
I didn't. I
50,
don't know.
I got a buck.
It's
Says
irrelevant
she
to
said-
our story.
Says she said yes.
Don't you still owe me for that Murdoch kid? His girlfriend's still with him?
No, I paid up that bet.
Okay.
We got to land this plane. Speaking of planes,
Yeah, we got to shut it down when we went.
Well, I'm going to find out if Mr. Cho, the nephrologist, if he's engaged.
So if you have kidney stones, don't go to this dude. And thank y'all. And somebody actually left a 1-star review saying, I say that I appreciate the fans too much. But guess what? I appreciate and love each and every one of you.
They said what?
They left a 1-star review saying that I tell the fans that I appreciate them too much.
They called him Mr.
And they
Rogers.
gave you 1 star?
Yep, 1 star, which I don't care. Thank you for doing that. And I hope I ruined your day. But I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much for tuning and listening in. Our numbers continue to grow because of y'all. Continue to share it.
Bloody Angola, we got part 2.
yes.
Part 2
Part
coming
1,
out
Hidden Records.
of becoming the warden.
Burl Kane.
Burl Kane will be coming to you tomorrow.
Bro,
So
Mike,
look out for that.
You got to get your people together. We got to do a movie on Burl Kane if we can agree to the fee.
That's right. That's right. So
is that
It's a
interesting?
meat burl.
check that out on Bloody Angola podcast.
Yes.
And until next
Coming to you on
time,
Thursday.
I'm Jim Chapman,
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agavino.
your host of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.
It's your business.